So I just wanted to welcome you all to our CTC kickoff event, and I wanted to specifically thank the CMC for getting in here bright and early this morning, Sherry and Richard and their staff for welcoming us into the studio today. I have the honor of sitting on the board here for the next 3 years of the CMC, and we thought this was a wonderful way to continue the collaboration between the Tech Council and the Community Media Center and show you all the wonderful things that this beautiful facility that is a hidden gem in the community has to offer. So Richard is also a peer on the LTAC technology cluster for Carroll County Long Range Planning, so it's nice to be able to have some more collaborative relationships with him. So without further ado, I'd like to introduce Richard Turner, Executive Director of the CMC.
Thanks very much, and good morning. You know, I woke up this morning, I had my smart alarm clock wake me up, and I got in, my lights started going on in my smart house, and then I got into my smart car. I'm starting to think I'm the dumbest thing around at this point, But thanks, Katie. It's great to be here. Great to partner and have the Tech Council here. I don't know how much of you know. I know you think you know how much hard work Katie gives to the organization. So let's give Katie a great round of applause for all she does. Outstanding work. How many of you were at the holiday event, the holiday gathering? I had a great time at the holiday event. Well, I have to say, when we first got there, there was a little bit of hubbub. Katie was running around. I could see she was like really worried. And it was like, oh, the catering, the food's not out. And it was like, there's the caterer. The truck is out there, and the keys are locked inside the truck. Okay. Now I can relate to this. I've had this happen to me. But the food wasn't out yet. The food is inside the truck. And it's like, well, what's the problem? There's a technological solution for that. Call up, whoever, get out your app and unlock your doors. What's the problem? It's like, oh yeah, the seduction of technology, right? It's just, I get so used to it, and we all get used to technology, and the reality is not everybody gets it, right? So it's great to have the efforts of the Tech Council to try and help folks get technology and understand, and also really convey what we're doing in Carroll County. Katie mentioned that how we're one of the great hidden gems of Carroll County, and I think for the outside world, a lot of people don't realize how much technology is really going on in Carroll County. So it's great when we're able to toot our own horn, but with good cause. So it's important that we help people get it, understand what technology is all about, how we can use it, how we can leverage it to improve and solve some of the challenging problems and some of the ordinary everyday problems like, my coffee maker didn't have enough coffee beans in it this morning, and I know there's an app for that somewhere, but I got to figure that one out. But as we go forward, really we try to solve some of these challenges. Some of the biggest ones is authenticity. All right, this is, I think, some of the big things that are driving Bitcoin, for example, is the new ways in which we can establish and validate trust in our relationships, in our business relationships. And I think that's one of the benefits that I've seen and I've experienced here in Carroll County is the trust that we can develop in developing partnerships and working together and solving things. And so I have to remind my staff sometimes and some of the folks that I work with that, we hear a lot about I this, I that, I. But we need a little less me and a whole lot more we. And so that's a little bit what we're trying to do is figuring out how to solve challenges for our community so we can empower the voices of our community. Media is obviously getting bashed a lot, but there's a lot that media can do to really ensure that we understand what's going on in our community, and that's our challenge as an organization. So we hope that you'll become more engaged with us, learn what we do. We have services that are available, and there are ways in which you can help us out, support us. We take donations because we are a nonprofit, but we have services and tools and training, and we want to ensure that there's access to innovative digital technologies in our community, that our voices are not left behind, that our residents have the opportunity to come in and use state-of-the-art technologies so that their voices can be heard and that we can really reflect what's going on and in an authentic way in Carroll County. So thanks to the great staff that's here, and I challenge us and all of us as we work in technology as to how to use this technology so that we can use the I to solve the challenges of the we. Thanks very much. Great being here. Oh, yeah, sure. Katie's encouraged me to do more of a plug. So We are developing over the next year. You can hear more about the kinds of services that we can offer to businesses. We've done a lot for nonprofits and for individuals, but in terms of having our studios here, and we have audio recording capability. We have classes that will enable you to come in and learn more about how to produce your own programming, but importantly, how you can use this as a tool to help communicate. You probably know and have heard this, that now more video starts on a mobile device than in our traditional regular linear streaming and television environment. Video is more important in terms of communicating, and I think when we talk about authenticity, we try to stimulate all of our senses to try and get that authentic experience, and now visually is becoming increasingly more important. So video and the use of video is an important way to do that. So certainly coming in and looking at what's possible in terms of the services and communicating and telling your story about what you're doing in the community, this is the place to do it, a great place to do it. So, great. Thanks very much. Thanks, Katie.
Alrighty, so let's get this show on the road. I will tell you that I was going to start off doing an Ignite presentation of the 2017 year interview, and Vince was wonderful in helping me, coaching me all through it, and I quickly canned that with my executive director decisions of not to do that. I know. Anyhow, maybe for Ignite, we'll actually see. I'll have until October to do it. So we're going to kick off and show you all the good stuff that we have planned for 2018 with the Tech Council. So first of all, I would like to introduce our board of directors who are here. So if you are here, please stand when I call your name and wave to the crowd, because we have a lot of new faces and new members with us today. And when I say that, last year's board had the year of the member, and boy was it the year of the member. We brought in 54 new members last year, which was a record for the Tech Council. So I will be very curious to see what this year's board comes up with as far as what our goals are going to be for, oh, good Lord, for this year. The what? Remember. There you go. That's a good play on words. So Chris Alport from Scale is returning to come back and join us again. Denise Beaver from Carroll County Economic Development. Isabel DeFeo from IMA Marketing. Gary Ditto from Who Staffing Company. Robert Dorr is with us. Josh Cohn from Cohn Creative. Terrence McGregor is not here, but he's a new addition to our board this year. Dave Schaefer is a returning member. Unfortunately, they both had conflicts this morning. And last but not least, Tyler Sturgill from Chainbridge Financial is in the back there. So thank you all for your continued commitment to the Tech Council. We really appreciate it. So the Tech Council could not do our events and our programming without our sustaining sponsors that we have. So here's a listing of our sustaining sponsors. A lot of them are board members. We have great partnerships with the community college, with the Department of Commerce, in the community, and that's great. And then we have 3 foundations who are very supportive of the Tech Council. The Anverse Foundation is actually the home of the Carroll Technology Council in the Carroll Nonprofit Center. That building, again, is a gem because it is at no cost to the community. It's donated services to us, and so the 35 nonprofits that call that place home only pay for utilities and no rents or anything like that, so that's a wonderful gift to them. Of course, the Callard Foundation with Greg and Roberta Callard, we recognized them at our holiday party for the grant that they gave to us last year as our community partner, but this year they gave us a $91,000 grant to continue doing great things in the community, and of that, $60,000 is earmarked just for STEM programming, so that's a wonderful gift that they have given to us. And of course, a name that you might not recognize, but you recognize the faces that go with it, is the Lorraine Duvall Charitable Trust, and that's Bob and Paulette Dorr, so we're very gracious for their support and time and efforts they give to us as well. All right, so what do we have going on this year? We have 12 great member events that are planned, and what are they? So our first event is today's kickoff event. Our second event you'll hear about more in depth later. It's called Unplug and Connect. We then have a Tech After 5 happy hour that's planned that will come up in March. We have our 14th annual golf tournament, which really truly is the best time that you'll have on the golf course. I'm not a golfer, but I have a really good time. God help Gary when he plays with me, but we have a good time. Grown. We have our the Great Drone Race, which is a new addition of things we're going to do in July. We have our summer picnic coming up in August. We have Ignite Carroll 7, the Maryland STEM Festival, Carroll County Tech Trek. Our Speed Data event will be returning, Technically Speaking Casino Night, and then, of course, our holiday party. So we are involved in 11 regional and community initiatives. And when I say we, I mean me, but I know that you all as members are involved in so much more. So I just want to give you, oh, that didn't work. Technology. So I just want to give you an overview of some of these events that I'm a part of as a voice into the community representing your concerns and ideas and whatnot. And so I'm a part of the Regional Technology Collaborative, and so that's all of the regional tech councils throughout the state of Maryland. We meet together 4 times a year and communicate fairly often with different things that are going on. The Maryland Tech Council Legislative Collaborative, it's a consortium of all of us coming together to help write the legislation. Carroll County Tech Hire is a partnership between Carroll Community College, Magic, the Department of Economic Development, Burke, and the Tech Council. Okay, yeah, I didn't miss anybody. Perfect. Celebrate America was a commissioner's initiative that we've been an active part of for the last 5 years, and we provide technology as a grand prize to stimulate student participants to be involved in that kind of stuff. You've heard me mention Carroll County's Long-Term Advisory Council. That is a group of 20 of us who are working to plan out the vision for Carroll County for 30 years out. And so if you think about where you were 30 years ago, I was in 3rd grade. So you just think about the task that's ahead of for all of us to look at and how to plan out the future for 30 years technology-wise for Carroll County. I'm also part of the Carroll County Legislative Advisory Council. We have our Carroll Technology Innovation Work Group, and so that's brought together with a lot of the nonprofits in the community, helping to plan programming and bring to the business community events and opportunities that are available. Of course, I already mentioned the STEM Festival. We're very supportive of local area robotics, speaking engagements, and then we have our famous Mobile Madness program we've done. So coming up this year for you, for the members, we have 6 technology education seminars, and 2 of which you'll hear about more in depth in a moment. But the first one we have is coming up in February, and so there's a complete calendar out on the table out front, and so make sure you please take that. We'll also email that to you, and it'll be included in your included in emails and on the website and coming forth. So Creative Benefits and Perks is going to be in February. We have our Sales Primer, which will be in March. Home Tech will be in April. Device Addiction will be in July, something, I think. June. Alternative Hiring is coming up in the fall. And then we have Hackers, Viruses, Ransomware, and You. If this is a topic or something, or any of these are topics that you have expertise in, we would love to talk with you because we want to use our members to highlight what you have to offer to be able to showcase your skills and abilities into the community. So we have 4 legacy programs. We think in the Tech Council that those are important things to have. So what are those legacy programs? We have our Tech Kids and Tech Works program. For those of you who are not familiar with that, that's our philanthropy program. And up until the last year, we had been doing primarily refurbished computers. And again, with the help of the Carroll grant, we were able to give away 168 brand new laptop computers. We have provided 6 new computer labs last year. We also did $10,000 in STEM scholarship and opportunities for high school students, college students throughout the county. So we were really excited to be able to have that partnership. And that's completely self-funded, so your membership dues don't have anything to do with that. We also have community partnerships, and again, we mentioned the Technology and Innovation Work Group. We have the Future of Broadband Advisory Group. That's a group that Kevin Brown from Quantum, Teresa Bethune from Freedom Broadband, Skyline is involved in, myself, Economic Development, and the county's CIO from the IT department. And last year, they came to us and they said, we're giving the county $1 million. How are we going to spend it? How are we going to build out? How are we going to improve what's going on? And so I'm pleased to say that in November of last year, we made $1 million recommendation to the commissioners on how to build out the next phase of the county fiber. So that'll be happening in the next year. Again, we have our Tech Hire Initiative, and we'll speak more about that in a moment. We have the Scott Edelman Memorial Fund. Many of you remember Scott Edelman, who was a founding member of the Tech Council, who we lost tragically in 2016. And we have a scholarship fund that is set up in his honor to, again, help businesses move forward with projects and opportunities that they have. And we also have named our golf trophy, the Edelman Cup, as Scott's team was the three-peat winner consecutively of the golf tournament. And then we have business roundtable groups. We have 2 groups that meet on alternating Fridays in Westminster and in Eldersburg. If you're interested in joining either one of those, you just have to let us know. So we have 2 specific roundtable groups. The first of which is our CIO roundtable, and so that's for any of you who are involved in making decisions for information technology and whatnot within your offices, in your companies. That's led by Bob Kuntz of the library, and that's a wonderful opportunity for people to be able to talk locally and collaborate and not just have to go to your conferences, but to be a great community resource to each other. We also have our Women in Tech roundtable, and we launched that in July, and I think we were all a little hesitant of what was going to happen in that, but when we sat down at that first meeting, our minds were literally blowing because we went around and we said, well, what's your background in technology? And some of it where people were like, well, I'm not a techie, and I say that every day, but that we had other people who were graduates of the Naval Academy and were astrophysicists. We had people who were involved in coding from the groundbreaking coding projects. Another person was helpful or instrumental in helping to develop the ATM machine and the coding and reading for that. So it's just neat to see the talent that we have here in Carroll County. And then we have some projects that we've done with that. So we'll talk about that again in a minute. So what has our Tech Kids programs done? So we have, like I mentioned before, we have our computers and laptops, our robotics clubs, our engineering clubs that we're sponsoring at Manchester Valley High School. Terry McGregor is leading the way on that one as he is the parent mentor, I guess. Our Tech Council members are very active in the Project Lead the Way at Carroll County Career and Tech Center. We have the Kids at Carroll program that we've done. We sponsored 24 students to be able to take STEM camp last year. And then this year, we have created, or we've donated, all of the computer technology to the Boys and Girls Club that's opening up in Westminster. And again, I mentioned that we have also done 6 other nonprofits, computer labs in the community. Our Tex Works program is for our adults, and so we're working with them for the non-traditional employee and for our students. So with that, we're helping them with internships and job fair opportunities. We work with the manufacturers and source them to help with talent and find need with that. We work very closely with the Business and Employment Resource Center here in the community, and of course, again, Tech Hire. So I've mentioned Tech Hire a couple of times, and so for those of you who are not familiar, last year in 2016 in December, we were awarded an initiative by the White House with 70 other communities to help focus on technology jobs and opportunities and placements that are happening across the country. And so in Carroll County, there are 532 employers that we are trying to help find talent, but that talent we'd like to be local. And what's nice for the employer is that if you find the talent and they don't have the training, we have opportunities and options through Burke and through training partners to be able to train that perfect candidate for you for opportunities. Last year we had 34 employer partners, and we were, from the records that we got, we had over 40, I think, job placements that we were aware of in communicating with. So that's nice to continue that relationship that's going to be continuing and hopefully be a little bit more robust and rebrand. So we had mentioned some programs. I'd like to introduce Val, who is heading our Women in Tech program that we're doing, launching, where is she, over there? We're going to be launching that on February the 1st. And so we have, as a subcommittee of, you're going to have to use the microphone, honey, to come over here. As a subcommittee, we launched a project to try and get young women involved and interested in STEM because we found that there was a great need for that. So let me introduce Val, who is the city manager for Ting and one of our longtime members of the Tech Council. We'll talk about the program.
Good morning, guys. Happy New Year. My connection to Women in Tech is really more based on my previous life when I was the assistant principal at the Career and Tech Center right across the street. One of our missions was really about how do we get women into what the state refers to as non-traditional programs. So, for example, a woman in the computer programming course. And we've really talked about that a lot. And as now in my current position, in our team, I am one of 6, with the other 5 being males. We realize, I live the life of it's a very male-dominated world, and we kind of talk about the reasons. And history shows that, data shows that young ladies, it's not that they don't think that they can do it, it's that they need a safe place to do it and to explore and to feel like I can learn about technology, but in a way that I feel safe. And for young women, that's with other women. So, as Teresa was leading our Women in Tech Roundtable, we got to talking about what can we do to sort of make a mark for young women. And we had just at our Tang Makerspace finished a design challenge in tandem with the oyster stroll. And we'd given it a shot. And I know that I'm surrounded by a lot of really smart people in this room, but in case you're not exactly sure what a design challenge is, it's really just simply presenting a real world problem to those participants, and they get to come up with their own solution. So we don't guide them at all. We don't give them ideas or pictures of potential solutions, but we allow them to solve the problem in their own fashion. So lots of heads together. We had a nice committee, and we did some back and forth, and we decided to really focus on middle school females and trying to get them into an environment where they can mess around with technology safely and feel really comfortable with that. Jen Bishop, who is going to be running the makerspace that is at the Carroll County Public Library in a couple years. She and I sort of offered our makerspaces opportunities. They have one down in Eldersburg, Exploration Point, which I'm sure you're familiar with. And we have lots of cool tools that I gotta tell you can be intimidating when you look at them and you don't know what they do. But now that I've really spent time messing with them and failing miserably and then coming back to success, you realize that you just really need a safe environment to do so. On top of that, we've got a lot of women in this organization who have a lot of expertise to provide, from technology to marketing skills to business development. And we sort of figured that to add to a design challenge, why not add this mentoring component? So we've come up with this Make Jewelry, a Recycled Adventure, which is a design challenge for middle school females that we are doing. We're connecting it to Earth Day because our final event is on Earth Day. And we're also connecting it to, and that's where the recycled piece comes in. And then we're connecting it with the maker spaces and using technology to create things. So I wasn't really prepared to talk about it this morning, so I don't have the exact details in front of me, but the gist of it is they are going to be given a list of recycled things that they can use to make their jewelry. So help me, like things like soda pop tabs and broken keyboard pieces and lots of different things that they can use to contribute. Plus, they have to have used maker technology. So between the two maker spaces, we have a laser engraver, we have a CNC router, we have a 3D scanner and a 3D printer, and some other little bits and pieces of technology. So they have to make something from new, and they have to use a recycled piece, and they have to make a necklace, a bracelet, and an earring set. So we're going to be, we have open times at both maker spaces where the young ladies can come in and work. But in addition, and so that's anytime either makerspace is open, but what hopefully the women saw out on the front table is that we have slots, one slot a week at each place, I believe is what it came down to. I could be wrong on that. Anyway, lots of slots from February to April, where we're asking the women from the Tech Council to donate 2 hours of their time to come into either makerspace on that evening or Saturday or Sunday even, and be there. And it will be marketed to these young ladies as, in addition to being able to access makerspace equipment, you can also provide some mentoring. And so, Jean, I'm going to put you on the spot. Jean Burgess signed up for a date closer to the end, actually, because we all know her area of expertise is marketing. And near the end, they're hopefully going to be getting their pitch and their pitch ready for the judging. And so she'll be there that evening. And if they want to talk to an expert about, how do I market this? What do I say? How do I describe this? Jean's going to be there that they can do some one-on-one consulting with her. So exciting opportunity. We're curious to see how it goes. We're really relying on lots of marketing with the school system and such to get this going. But we're hoping to have some young ladies who are willing to take the risk, go into the maker spaces, design something new, have fun with it, talk with some of our professionals in the community. And then in the end, on April 24th at the office, the Tech Council office, we're going to have a design board. We have 6 judges who I can't even tell you who they are right now. Maybe you can remember.
Lynn Taylor from the library, Jack Hayden from Baltimore Recycles Works, the lady from Unique Jewelry, can't think of her name, Katie Staub from McDaniel College, can't think of her name.
Josh, yeah. Oh, he's like, what? Anyway, so we went through and we tried to get, from an engineer to a scientist to someone with creativity to a jewelry expert. So, Oh, right, and a student from the Fashions and Textiles program. So we've created a rubric. So the students will have a rubric just like they do in the engineering programs in the schools, to which they're going to know what their project is judged by, and they'll create these and they'll set it up, have a little gallery. The judges will come through and judge. Will be open to the public, for everyone who wants to have their families come in and look at their stuff, and then there will be a winner. So it's hopefully going to be an exciting event, a little different, and allowing some young women to get some exposure to technology, which is definitely, I don't mean to misspeak, Teresa, but I think you would say what we decided was one of the goals of our roundtable is to figure out how to get young women interested in technology early. Okay. Woo.
Thank you, Val. So as we mentioned, there is a sign-up sheet out there. So if you have not signed up and are interested in being a part of that, we would love to have you be a part of that. So our next program that we have coming up is our first educational seminar of the year. And we're fortunate to have John here. So I don't want to give a big plug. Well, I am going to do a plug. I'm sorry. Plug isn't it. I don't want to give too much away is what I wanted me to say. But so coming up on February the 8th is our first educational meeting. It'll be at the office in the Carroll Nonprofit Center in the conference rooms from 8 until 10 again. And John is going to use his expertise from the legal side, but also from the creative side of what are perks that you can give to your employers? How can we're looking outside the box. So these are not necessarily compensation, but as far as opportunities to make keeping an employer engaged. Am I right? Engaged and being a forceful team player in your team. So he's got a lot to share with that. So we're looking forward to that. Is there anything you want to add as more of an enticing?
If you're coming, be ready to play along and be interactive.
Oh, even better. All right, we like interactive. So again, that we'll be continuing to send out some information about that later on. So our first, it's not going backwards. I'm clicking. Oh, perfect. Okay. Next, I would like to introduce Chris Alport and Sonia Hand. I don't know if both of you want to tag team or just one of you, to talk about a program that we're offering. And for the first time, we're doing an evening event on a Friday because we're really opening this up to the community and to the families. As we know, there's a lot of stuff going on in the news right now about being disconnected. We have an educational seminar coming on that we're going to be doing about device addiction, but this is another kind of a twist on things. So I'd like to introduce Chris real quick to come up and share a little bit of information about this event.
So thanks, Katie. I realize with Richard talking about tech and we're doing a tech council event, I have the distinct pleasure of bringing the least techy thing we're going to do all year, which doesn't really seem to fit with my personality. So every night when I get home, I haven't dropped my backpack off, I haven't got my coat off, but my 9-year-old son runs up and says, "All right, Dad, are we going to save the world tonight?" And he's dead serious. So are we going to play Pandemic? Or, Dad, am I going to kick your butt playing Paco Shaka? Well, what the heck are these things? So I grew up playing Monopoly. We all call it monotony because it just takes forever. It never ends. And life. And at some point when I was in high school, my mom managed to get me unplugged from the computer by introducing this game called Pictionary. It was like revolutionary, right? We're not just moving a thing around the board. I mean, you get to do that, but now we're drawing pictures. And I think that's kind of where video games took off for me, and that I lost a lot of years in video games. Well, now I have kids, and they're constantly plugged in with things in their ears. How do I get them to come out and join the family? So a couple years ago, my wife and I started playing board games with the family, and we found it's just a great opportunity for us to connect with each other. We've been playing with friends. There are grown-up games. There are adult games. None at this event. This is a family-friendly event. And so back in November, my family and I went to a game convention. There were thousands of people there, hundreds of games we've never heard of, some we've seen, and just thousands of groups sitting down playing games together. It was fantastic. And we thought, what if we bring a small piece of that to Carroll County and we start kind of an annual game conference? It's just an opportunity for us to connect and not have to have our devices. So when we were talking about doing this in our planning session, I said something about having a gaming night. And Josh very quickly piped up and said, yeah, my son is great at setting up the LANs. We can have a great game party. I'm like, okay, non-techie. So we've reached out to several game publishers. We've started receiving donations for prizes and for also for a game library that we can start establishing. We will have a copy of Monopoly there, maybe. But I promise to have a bunch of games you've never heard of. We'll have people there teaching how to play the games. There's a game developer. They're somewhere within an hour's radius. When we asked them to donate a game, they said, we'll actually show up and teach how to play the game. We did get to play it in November at the conference, and it's a really cool game. Again, something you're probably not used to seeing. So on the 23rd from 5 to 10 at the Nonprofit Center, it's going to be open to the community, but we're having a gaming night. Show up. We're going to have pizza and drinks, non-alcoholic drinks. So bring patience so you can deal with all these little pieces and your kids and my kids. I'm sorry in advance. And we're just going to have a great time and play a ton of games. And that's it.
What do you think is the age? Like, do you think there's a certain age of family and children, or do you think there's a minimum?
Well, I mean, we're not going to require you to play a game, with any particular person. We'll have a game library, and bring your kids, play with your kids. We've been playing games with our kids forever, so.
I'd say anything from 5 and 6 up.
Yeah.
I mean, and I can definitely see some adults coming without kids too. So it's family friendly, but it's not, you don't have to have
Right.
kids come because there are going to be plenty of games for just adults who just have fun playing as well.
Yeah, and it's open to the community, not just Tech Council members. So please pass the word.
All right, perfect. So we have with us two guests as far as a community resource that I work with pretty closely. The college works with closely. Economic development works with closely. We have Darren Payton and Amy Wallace-Yingling from America's Small Business Development Center to just talk about some of the resources that they can provide to you as small businesses in the community. So I'd like to introduce the two.
I tell you. Thank you. Thanks for coming. No, actually, as Katie said, we are with the Small Business Development Center. Some of you I actually work with on a regular basis. Some of you I've met at many different events, and some of you I've actually worked with as clients, or the SBDC has worked with as clients. For those of you who don't know what we are, the Small Business Development Center, we are a grant-funded organization. So we actually get, our main funding comes through the SBA. We also get funding through the state of Maryland, and also through the counties that we work with, we get funding. And what we are a organization that offers no-cost consulting services to our clients. So again, that was no cost. It's not free because you have to use your time, but it is no cost to you monetarily. And what we focus on what we call the 3 M's. So we focus on money, marketing, and management. Money, we don't have any money to give you. So do not come asking for any money from us.
We do not have any grants to give.
No, yes, absolutely. There are no grants available. Well, it depends. Some of you may be doing some research to find some new technologies. You may be able to get some grants. But for the most part, if you are starting up a new small business, you are not going to get a grant to do that. We get that all the time. In fact, I just had someone call me yesterday. What kind of grants are available for starting my new business? What are you doing? I'm going to do snow plowing. I'm sorry, but you're not going to get any grants most likely. But we do help you with finding money for your company, so that's the money part of it. For example, if you are looking to get a loan from a bank, we help you work on your business plan, get your whole loan package together. There are a lot of different funds available that we actually try to find and assist you with getting. On the management side, management can be many different things. For example, cash flow management. A lot of small businesses do not consider their cash flow management. They just kind of go month to month and pay their bills and hope that everything works out. But cash flow is definitely something you want to really look at and actually manage, so you can look for different things and figure when you're going to have enough money to actually grow or expand your business. You know, people who have inventory, that's another thing you want to manage. A lot of times people start a business up, they know what they're doing within the business, but they don't know the business side of it. And that's where we come in to help you out. There's also things like human resource management. We assist you with that. On the marketing side of it, first and foremost, one of the first questions we ask people with regards to that is, who is your target market? And the main answer we receive for that is, well, everyone. Second question we ask, what is your marketing budget? Well, I was going to put about $1,000 into it this year. You are not going to reach everyone with that amount of money. I was like, Coca-Cola reaches everyone, but they spend millions on advertising. So you have to focus on a specific group. Now, will you reach people outside of that group? Absolutely. But you have to be able to spend your money wisely to attract people to your business. So there are the things that we focus on. Now, again, we are a national organization. We have SBDC throughout the whole nation. So that being said, we have access to resources outside of us. So we have consultants throughout the whole country that we can actually get in touch with. We work with a lot of the state organizations and the federal organizations. The SBA we work with obviously very closely. Chamber of Commerce is throughout the state, Department of Commerce, help me out here, different groups of Hispanic Chamber of Commerce, business centers. Yeah. So
we also offer a lot of specialty programs more at the University of Maryland level, but they do come out to Carroll County and Baltimore County and surrounding areas for those.
I'm sorry, can you use the microphone?
Oh, yes. We have a few specialty programs. One is our Hispanic Business Center program, which is located in PG County. So if we have businesses that are seeking assistance that are Hispanic, there's a great opportunities there. We also have programs in place that are called the Accelerator Series, and it's for businesses that are making 500 plus thousand a year in revenues that are looking to expand their business. But maybe what has happened is that they've been making good money just out of hard work and a little bit of luck. But what we will do is we will work with you to break down your business and figure out where the holes are that are preventing you from expanding. So we have that program in place as well. And those run throughout the year. So one of the great things is we just updated our website. It is much better than what it was before. It still always is a working task there and getting that up and running and making sure that it's updated. But we have our new website. It just launched yesterday, and that has all of our training calendar. So it lists all the classes that we have offered throughout the state of Maryland. So please check it out. One of the things that happened to our region this year is we just picked up Baltimore County, which was a new addition, which is great because it offers more resources for all of our counties that we've been working with in our region. So we're excited about that.
yeah, and looking at the, you know, as I say, we are a national organization, but we're a national organization with a local flair. I am the yes, we are the flair. So if you didn't get that, yeah. Yeah, so I grew up here in Westminster. I moved away for a little bit, but then moved back. So I know the area, and I am the consultant for Carroll County at the moment. So we do have a local flair. And again, we work with a lot of different resources in the local community. Again, I mean, just looking around here, obviously we work very closely with the Tech Council, also with Economic Development, with the Chamber of Commerce. We work very closely with BERC, the Business Employment Resource Center, a lot of different organizations. We actually partner also with the college and Miller Resources for Entrepreneurs. You know, we are the consulting arm for them. So we do work very closely with a lot of the local resources that are here as well. And our main goal is to help you grow your business, or whatever it is you need help with within your business. That is our main goal, is to assist you. And again, it is a no-cost resource. Again, as Amy said, we do some trainings. Most of the trainings here in Carroll County we leave up to the college, but we do actually work very closely with Burke. We offer a course there every month. It's called Ready, Set, Go. It's if you're just starting out with your business, are you ready to be an entrepreneur is basically what that class is about. There's a lot of myths with regards to business, which I'm sure you all have kind of overcome. But there's a big myth where, hey, I'm going to start my business, I'm going to work 20 hours a week, and I'm going to make $250,000 in the first 6 months. And I always say to people, good luck to you. I hope that works for you. Do I think it will? Probably not. But that's the thing. People always look at the end game of entrepreneurship. They look at the Steve Jobs, they look at the Bill Gates, they look at their great-grandfather who had a construction business for 80 years. They don't look at the very beginning. They don't look at the very beginning of that when they were working out of their garage eating mayo sandwiches. So they just look at the very end game where they were wealthy and successful. And they don't realize that you're going to be putting 70 hours a week in, not seeing your family, not seeing your kids. So it's a lot involved that people don't really think about. And that's what that class is. Just, are you ready for that? So there are some of the things, again, that's one of the trainings that we do. Typically, here in Carroll County, we leave that up to the college to kind of handle that. We work very closely with them to try to get them to get some workshops and trainings that will be helpful for small business. But I guess in a nutshell, that's about what we do. Again, we are here in Carroll County, so if anyone needs help, again, I know some of you I have actually worked with personally. Others, we are here, and if you know of other people that are also looking for it, again, it's a resource that is available to small business in the area. So thank you, and I think that's all I have to say.
Are we taking questions, or do you want to take questions? You guys have any questions?
If anyone has any questions.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right, so just two more things real quick to go over. Last year we launched our referral program, and for some of you it was very lucrative because you got 70% off your membership for this year. I hated writing that invoice. But I'm sorry? Well, wait a minute to the next slide. If you are a special offer today, if you want to join the Tech Council, we'll offer you 10% off your membership. So just keep that in mind as we are trying to spread the news and the words about the Tech Council, that it benefits you as a business as well. So if you make a referral, bring someone to a meeting, to an event, and they say, hey, we want to be a part of this great organization, it comes back to you. And it's for every member you bring on, it's 10% off. So like I said, I had one member who got 70% off this year, which was wonderful. So we have both of those. You can see myself or any of the Tech Council members to be able to get information about being able to do that. So I have a couple of announcements. Ooh, I guess I should have gone back to that. Oh, well, don't look at that now. It's been like that all day. So I have committee sign-up sheets for anybody who's interested. We have some great events that are coming up this year that we've mentioned. So our golf committee is going to start meeting shortly. We have our technically speaking committee who will start meeting in the summer. We have a social committee, which is just basically helping with our networking events that we have, finding locations or sponsors or parts to be a part of it. We have our Ignite Carroll 7 committee. Really, that's just been Vince and I, but we're going to kind of branch that out because we want you to help us get in community speakers to be a part of this. It is a phenomenal event. The CMC is very intricate in doing that. We host it at the Carroll Arts Center, and it's a ton of fun. As Val mentioned, we have our Women in Tech program that's coming up. There's the formal sign-up sheet outside for the blocks of time for the mentoring part of it. But if you're not a part of it now and would like to be a part of it, we'll certainly add you onto our email list. We have our CIO roundtable, so you can sign up for that. Or we have our 2 business roundtables, which again are on Friday mornings, and those are non-leads groups. They're just to come together to talk about business opportunities, struggles you may be having in your business, and it's just, it's just a nice resource group to be able to have in the community. So I'm going to put those out front. If you are interested in signing up for any of them, please sign up before you walk out the door. I also had a couple of other information. I don't know where they are. All right, well, we're going to wing this. Okay, so out front on the table, Carroll Community College is launching a new SWIFT program, and that is to learn how to code and create the iOS programs. Is that correct? Apps? Okay, perfect. So there's information out front for that, so please look into that. Chet Andes is coordinating that. Jonathan Mars, I saw him slip in the back. He has some information regarding a fish hackathon. Is that properly spelled? I did print out a couple pages for that. Please talk to him. It sounds like it's going to be a great opportunity to kind of do app hacking, developing. It's a little different because we had the hackathons through Magic, which were for students, but this is more for adults, correct?
Yeah, it's a global event. It's going to be over 65 cities, 14 countries, all running the weekend of February. So it's a great networking opportunity. It's a great opportunity to get the brand out there. And we're going to have live links. There's not going to be live links around the world. So if you want to get involved, please send teams down. If you want to be a judge, if you want to be a mentor. Global prize is going to be involved. So I'll stick around, ask me any questions.
So there are flyers out there for that, and please see Jonathan for that, because I thought that was a great opportunity for the adults to be able to get involved in hacking if they wanted to be a part of that. And my last announcement is kind of a bittersweet one, but sadly, as many of you know, the CTC is losing a longtime member this year. Creative Studios is leaving Carroll County, and for those of you, that's better known as Rich and Tina Wagner. So with that being said, they're having a huge moving sale of all of their office equipment, their production equipment, their anything you can imagine. I did share it on our Facebook page. It's a cash and carry, get there early, but if any of you are looking for technology things, gaming opportunities, he had a gaming studio, he had a production studio, he had a live event studio, it would be a great opportunity for you to go down and see that. But everything is priced to go, cash and carry to go. So I did want to share that with all of you to take advantage of it. And I'm sure you could contact Rich and say, hey, can I come in on Friday instead of Saturday? And he would probably be very happy to allow you to do that. So are there any other announcements from the floor that I missed that I didn't do? Did you have one, Gary? Oh, anybody? Josh, do you want to say anything? Okay, so I would thank you all for coming this morning. I would encourage you to talk to some of the different leaders that are here from the different committees and organizations that are overseeing things. And if you have questions, we would be happy to answer them. But please help yourself to some more refreshments. And if there are any other resources that I can be or any of our board members can help you out with, please feel free to reach out to them. And hopefully we'll see you on February the 8th for our next event. So thank you.